News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Kevin Leno enters a plea of not guilty to deliberate homicide. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Wednesday, November 26, 2014. Happy birthday to my lovely wife, Lorna. So there you go. Right now we have some light snow in the area. Roads are very, very slick this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please use extreme caution. As you're driving, it's going to be warming throughout the day. It'll become a sea of slush, but right now it's icy out there. We have 31 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning is sponsored by Dig It Excavating, bringing 30 years of excellence to every job. Call 214-4292. 27-year-old Kevin Leno entered a plea of not guilty yesterday in Missoula District Court to the murder of Gilbert Berry under the Reserve Street Bridge in late July. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Jason Marks has details of the case.
The investigation was initiated when a body was found in the Clark Fork River the end of the summer, and subsequent investigation led to him being charged with deliberate homicide in the case.
Court documents indicate Leno and Kenneth Hickman beat Berry under the Reserve Street Bridge and then cut gang symbols into his body with a knife. It's alleged Leno then shot Berry in the head with a 9mm pistol and dumped his body in the Clark Fork River. Mark says Leno's case will pick up again in the new year.
The next scheduled court date is an omnibus hearing on January 13th of this next year, 2015, and then there's a trial scheduling conference set for February 10th of 2015.
Leno's bail was continued at $250,000. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Andrew Paul has responded to a motion in limine presented by the defense for the upcoming murder trial of Marcus Karma. The motion filed Monday responds to a request by the defense to have the state to eliminate certain words and phrases from the trial. Of the 5 items listed by the defense, here are the responses from the state. The state does not object to being allowed to use the word victim when referring to the deceased, Darren Dede. However, the state also asks that Dede not be referred to by the defense as a burglar or the burglar. The state does not object to using evidence as to the specific levels of marijuana in Karma's blood, nor about not using statements by Karma's neighbors intimating that he was involved with drugs. The state, however, does object to not being allowed to use photos of the deceased, including crime scene photos or videos of the autopsy. The state also objects to not being allowed to use the terms lure and bait because those terms were used by the defendant's common-law wife. Judge Ed McLean hasn't yet ruled on the motions. The trial is set to begin this coming Monday. A 28-year-old Billings man is denied charges that he shot a man to death and 6 weeks later beat and choked another man, breaking bones in his face. The Billings Gazette reports Jonathan Martinez pleaded not guilty Tuesday to deliberate homicide in the October 2nd death of 36-year-old David Valley, whose body was found on the lawn in front of an apartment building. Martinez also pleaded not guilty to aggravated burglary, aggravated assault, and weapons charges for a November 17th attack on a man he believed had stolen $300 from him. After receiving a whopping 10 inches of snow over the weekend, this past weekend, Discovery Ski Basin is set to open tomorrow. Although not all lifts may be open, President C. Pitcher says Discovery will continue to operate Saturdays and Sundays through December. And then starting December 20th, will open 7 days a week through the rest of the season.
We're going to open on Thursday. On Thanksgiving Day, we'll have a couple of our chairlifts open. As of Sunday night, when we made the decision to open, it looked pretty good over there, and it's just kept snowing. So we're working as quickly as we can to open up more terrain. I can't tell you how excited we are to be going to Thanksgiving with this big storm sitting here, and it just seems to keep delivering.
Pitcher says lift tickets will be $21 all weekend. Big Sky Ski Resort outside Bozeman will also be opening on Thanksgiving Day. A 59-year-old Brockton woman, her husband, and 2 daughters have pleaded guilty to their roles in embezzling more than $132,000 from the town of Brockton on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation. Desiree Lambert pleaded guilty yesterday in district court in Great Falls to fraud, embezzlement, and aggravated identity theft. Her 66-year-old husband, Bernard, and adult daughters, Casey and Kayla, pleaded guilty to aiding and abetting Desiree's embezzlement. U.S. District Judge Brian Moore scheduled sentencing for March 5th. A northwestern Montana newspaper editor who was arrested at the scene of a highway crash is asking a court to dismiss charges that he interfered with a crash investigation and resisted arrest, arguing he was a reporter covering the news. Lake County prosecutors responded they had probable cause to arrest Vincent Lovato on October 1st after he ignored an order to move outside the area being investigated. Prosecutors say they have video and audio evidence of Lovato's refusal, resisting arrest, and unleashed a string of profanity after he was taken into custody. Yesterday, Montana officials certified the elections with a statewide canvass. Montana Secretary of State Linda McCulloch explains.
We have the canvass all wrapped up. Representatives from the state superintendent's office, the state auditor's office, and the attorney general's office came to our conference room today. I'm the secretary to the Board of Canvassers. So we proceeded to conduct the canvass. What we do is we compare the county results to the state results, and so they all checked out.
The election is now officially over, but there is a possibility of a recount in 2 races. McCulloch says the losing candidates in both of these races must make a decision on whether or not they want to post a bond.
Dick Haynes out of Missoula and Tony O'Donnell, who is also a Republican out of Yellowstone County. I think in Missoula County it's about roughly $2,600, and that's for the Senate race. And then the House race in Billings would be less because there are less votes to count.
Candidates must first decide if they're willing to pay for a recount by December 1st. We have a breaking news story coming up in our next newscast about a lawsuit in district court over a House district race here in Missoula. We'll get to that a little bit later on. The day after Thanksgiving, known popularly as Black Friday, can be a day of savings, but the Better Business Bureau warns shoppers to be wary of the many dangers that exist, especially when shopping online. Director of Communications Chelsea McGuire has just one example of what to be wary of when you're out shopping.
Some really high dollar amount products like electronics or things like that. We've seen some shady companies that pop up that look really legitimate but are selling really large ticket items at highly discounted prices.
McGuire says some stores change their policies for the holidays to protect their bottom line.
Those stores are usually doing their best to minimize their risk by putting maybe different return policies for the holiday season. They might be adding restocking fees if you want to return your items, so you may not get all of your money back.
McGuire says if there's any question as to the legitimacy of the store or website, to contact the Better Business Bureau. And they're over in Spokane. Newstalk time now is 6:10.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Areas of snow this morning will change over to rain by midday. A good deal of cloud cover is expected with our highs in the mid-40s. Showers will taper off tonight, mostly cloudy skies, lows in the mid-30s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.